Girl, so much is happening. I'm gonna be in and out. Today's vlog, we're keeping it short. I just really wanted to get on here before I head out to our second Soul Verge gathering. I'm just gonna share with you a quick discipline tip that I forgot, or if we even want to call it that, but quick tip on that I wanted to add, talking about replacing energy after you release energy. So remember in last week's vlog, I was talking about how I release this attachment energy and stuff, which that really does do something, by the way. Second time I've done that, and let me not even start going into it, but I'm gonna briefly touch on that. And then just where I'm at, how things are going, what's going on with me, a vlog checkup. Something that I do, I jotted this down because I think I mentioned this before, how much I feel like I reminisce my life, even though I'm still here, actively living in it. Like when I'm walking around my neighborhood, or just particularly when I'm in this area where I'm driving, I'll reminisce as if oh, I remember when I lived here, even though I still, even though I still technically live here. I don't know, I love, one, for just manifestation, I like to do that. But I feel like I started doing that particularly when I would go back to my old high school to see my siblings or something, because they go there. And when you go back to old schools or old places or old towns that you used to be at, you reminisce. And it doesn't matter really what your experience was there, unless it was awful and traumatic, that's different. But otherwise, even if you hated being in school, for example, I didn't like being in school, but it's oh, still this is my high school, you're remembering the person who you used to be, and just, I don't know, that type of vibe, right? And so that is one of the reasons that it made me start to be very aware and mindful and grateful of where I am now. And so even if I don't love where I'm at, because I've been told you I want to move. My bitch is ready to move. I'm grateful, but I'm ready to move. But I express a lot of love and gratitude for where I'm at, and reminisce, because I'm there's gonna be a day that I'm driving by here and I'm oh my goodness, remember when I lived here and I was in my 20s and I was just paving my way. There's gonna be a time that I look back on this old town or my old place or old whatever and be oh my gosh, I remember my 20s. And so I try to still just have that. I mean, this is getting up there. Tell me why I was talking to my aunt and I was yeah, I'm in my 20s, and she was barely. I was it be your own. But but yeah, why did I mention that? My to-do list hack, if you want to call it that, but hack, for getting stuff done and motivating yourself to get stuff done off the to-do list is, if I'm really trying to get things done for the day, I put everything on the to-do list. I'll put the most simple things on the to-do list just so I can mark them off. Because then you're okay, I'm getting stuff done. I'm marking stuff off. I'll put clear off the table if that's something that I want to do. Or even the quick things, not just the big things that are going to take you a bunch of time. Because then when you finish, you're finally, okay, you can go and mark that. Okay, what else do I have to do and how much have I gotten done? And you only have one thing you get to click, versus getting to go in there and okay, cool, I've knocked off this, 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 and this. Even though 4 of those things took you 5-10 minutes, it's I did it. I refilled the water in the fridge. Giving yourself stuff to mark off so you can get a dopamine hit. It's all about the dopamine game and working with the brain and the way it works and the way our bodies work and stuff. It's all about gaming the system, you know what I'm saying? So I'm big on that. Give me a little dopamine hit. Doing well with the whole, actually, let me talk about this first. The whole replacing energy thing. So when we release energy, you know how I was talking to you about, I was on my walk and I was I shed my attachment to this person, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't my first time shedding my attachment or shedding whatever. But something that I remember to do now is to also then follow that up with, and it doesn't have to be immediate, because remember I said that and then I had a whole emotional like reaction and whatever. Like there was time in between saying I shed XYZ and then replacing it with however you want to word it, but then being like, and I invite, or I replace, or I bring in, or I allow, or I attract, whatever verb you want to use, the energy of unconditional love for this person, or abundance, or whatever it is you want to bring in. Because when you release something, it automatically creates a vacuum, like in just physics. The same rules and laws that apply to us and how we move energy and everything are the same rules that are in physics, or that apply to physics. We are energetic beings. We are matter. We are made up of atomic particles. We have the same rules. And so it can help prevent that same energy that you just released from coming back in. That doesn't mean it's going to automatically. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that if you do a big release, like I release or I shed my attachment to blah, 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 and you feel that, energy leave, you have created a vacuum. And so I like to then, I don't want to use the word take advantage, but I guess it's kind of all that's coming to my mind right now. But I like to take advantage of that and decide what energy I put in its place. And I feel like that, like I said, this is the second time I've done it for something major, and my attachment really has been released to these people, but I really do have the unconditional love for them that I replaced it with. Like I released my attachment to so-and-so, and instead I invite in complete unconditional love and gratitude for them, because I still have unconditional love and gratitude for these people, but I do release any unhealthy attachment because I don't want that. And so I feel the difference. I feel the difference in how I'm navigating like my relationships and stuff now. And so, well, the other thing I put on here is that I've been really identifying my patterns and standing on business with my boundaries, with friendships and relationships and stuff, because I know myself. At this point, it's very clear I really yearn and love to have somebody to love on. I love having people to hype up and to make feel really good and special and do things for. What's it called? I guess my love language really is acts of service. It's so funny. I would have never necessarily thought that until I've been paying attention to my patterns and just learning about myself and seeing like that tracks, that very much tracks. But I love having someone to like pour into. I see it very much with my aunt, a relative I told you I'm super close with. It's like, I want to clean up her house, and I like things that I normally just wouldn't feel like doing or wouldn't want to, or be lazy or whatever. I yearn to do that for certain people. And I have my best friend I told you about, my childhood best friend. She's like my sister. I love to make her feel special. I love making people feel warm and special. And unfortunately, the kind of shadow side of that is that in the past, I would attach or keep certain people around longer than I should, because there's a part of me that just really wants to have that connection. So even if a connection doesn't fit, it's like, well, damn, I'm just here by myself in my home. Like I really, oh, sorry, my timer thing or whatever. Because I told you we're keeping this quick. But I love that. I don't know. It fulfills me to have someone that I am able to shed love on. That doesn't mean that definitely I would like reciprocity, of course. I'm a person. And that's the problem. That's the shadow side of where if I kept giving it because I want to, with the wrong people, and then there's friction in the relationship and whoop, whoop, wop, wop, problems. So now I've been really standing on business with only pouring into those that pour into me too, in healthy relationships and balance, and releasing unhealthy attachments, and just self-love and loving of those around me, just whoop, whoop, wop, wop. And yeah, I actually got Dust, I've been digging into astrology a lot recently. I want to make a whole video about it, but I guess I'll give y'all the sneak peek and then I gotta go. How, hot take? No, I don't think it's a hot take. Hot take? I don't know. I don't think it's a hot take. I think people take the whole we pick our soul path, we pick our like life path too literal. And I'm seeing now the connection between astrology and manifestation, if you want to categorize it as if it's something different or special when really it's all. But anyways, astrology, manifestation, and all the sciences, biochem, physics. I'm so glad I took biochem. Being able to connect biochem and now like as my physics understanding grows, like, oh, because I remember when I took biochem, that was honestly one of my hardest courses, but one of my favorite. I'm tangenting. Anyways, seeing the connection between these, I now see how with astrology, it's like when we're born, there's all sorts of stuff around us. Our parents are around us. The hospital, if you're there, there's a chair around you. There's this near you. There's that near you. Like when you take your first breath, these are the things and energies that are around you. And all energies, if you're in range, all energies are interacting in some way or form. The moon, we already know, impacts us and interacts with us and here on Earth, and it affects birth rates, and it affects crime, and it affects the oceans, waves, and all sorts of stuff. The sun affects our vitamin D, and the energy that we get from the sun literally interacts with our cells. And we see that with hyperpigmentation, we see that with vitamin D, we see it in all sorts of ways. The sun's literal energy has a biological impact on us. The moon's energy has an impact on us. So do these other planets. And these planets are huge. The idea, oh, they're so far away, that doesn't matter. They're huge and we're in range. We're in range of their energies. And when we take our first breath, the planets are in certain locations and their energy that we're in range of imprints on us. And how that's expressed, I'll go into, if I want. I do want to. I'll go into detail on that in another video. But that is what I really believe is when our soul picks our path. Like I feel like it picks the energies that can impact us. So there's a path that we can follow in the sense that, oh, this sign is really big on community, or this sign's really big on civility, this sign's really big on whatever. Like your soul doesn't pick the specifics and that you're gonna go and enter this job and do this and do that and experience these traumas or whatever. I think our souls pick the energies that can be impacting us to give us the formula and recipe for the type of lifestyle that it wants us to have, or that it wants to play around with. It picks the challenges and things that it wants us to explore and overcome in this lifetime. And then our consciousness, while we're here, determines how it's expressed, how much, if it's expressed, because then you have shadow sides, you have traumas, if you're regulated or not. I think when you're regulated, the same way source energy can flow through, these other energies that impact you can flow through and express better and in their healthy form and work together and whoop, whoop, wop, wop. We'll go into it in another video. But having this understanding and then now looking at the things that mean a lot to me and what I'm really doing and what I really love and what I'm really about and how I express and whoop, whoop, wop, wop. And then seeing how much it tracks with my astrological chart, and then seeing how it used to express before I was regulated, that's given me even more confidence that I'm walking in my soul's highest purpose. I've already felt that. I already know and believe that, but that's just been really cool. And I feel really confident in myself, and I put this other thing here about like as I get closer to big changes and scary changes and stuff, I've quit jobs multiple times, right? I've jumped off cliffs multiple times. This was the biggest jump. Every jump's gotten a little bit bigger. And I feel like one of the reasons that, and then I gotta go. I know I keep saying it. Bitch, I know you keep saying it. I kind of don't fear the cliff anymore. As crazy as that sounds, as crazy as that sounds, I'm almost looking forward to it. I feel like it's a state change. I've already had my two thoughts and feelings about manifestation being like a densification process. Like that's why there's a delay. Like when we're vibrating abundance and vibrating whatever, the reason we don't see it just something immediately pop up in front of us that we want is because it has to densify. And like that densification process is the energy flowing through us and everything around us to get whatever it is we want to us. And flowing through us too, meaning we're actually like doing things too. But that's just like a state change. And I feel like with this whole jumping off the cliff thing is, especially when we're trying to 180 our life, because I 180'd my life. Like that's like what I was about. And it's like when you're trying to literally 180, the energy that's going in, like let me use the example of ice, melting ice or whatever. Energy is being added, right? But the overall temperature of that, what's becoming water, is not immediately increasing yet. Like you're trying to turn ice into like boiling water or something. It's not immediately heating up because all the energy is going into breaking the previous bonds or the bonds that are currently keeping it as ice. Once all those bonds are broken, once that's done, then it becomes water and boil and steam and whatever you're trying to achieve, right? But first, we have to break all the old stuff. And I feel like that's how it's been. Like first, I have to release attachment or release my safety nets, or first this money has to go, or this home or this whatever has to go. The energy is going through breaking all of these old bonds. Once those are done and you are finally off the cliff, then the safety net, the net that you want so bad, the comfort and stability that you want so bad can appear, and this can start to build. Energy can start to go into building. But before energy can go into building, it has to go into breaking the old. I feel like, I don't know, that's just, I don't think we're any different from any of the other rules and things that apply in physics. And my plants have taught me a lot too. Have taught me a lot. I very much flow with the seasons. I've been noticing that just happening subconsciously, and it's been very beneficial, and they've taught me a lot. I'll go into that another day. But anyways, girl, this vlog was a little less organized, but I'm excited. I got things going on. I'm standing on business with myself, my beliefs. It feels so good to feel these new beliefs just so like resonant in my body and having this confidence in myself and stuff, because I should have marked when I first started saying those affirmations. I might have. Not that that's the only reason, but anyways, girl, yeah. Things are going well. I hope things are going well with you too. Next week, we can maybe go into more detail on the astrology stuff. Maybe. And the physics state changes things. I know I might have chopped that up. If there's any science girlies watching this, if I chopped anything up, give me some grace, okay? This is just a little quick little shum. But yeah, I'm out here. I hope you're out here. And Jesus Christ. I'll see you next week.